Hey everybody, Ron here with Southwest Colorado Adventures. It's been a long time, so we had a few little issues that we had to work through with YouTube, got those squared away finally, and wanted to just kind of give you an update on a few things that I've done in the meantime. Haven't quite done a lot of riding yet because there's still a lot of snow up at elevation, which is where I want to go. Have done some street riding, just, back and forth to church, to the store, stuff like that. I have done some modifications, and the first thing I'm going to do is just do a walk around and see if you can pick out exactly what it is that I've done. Okay, how many things can you name that I have done to this thing since we last spoke? That's the real question. How far off of stock is it? Well, I don't know. You might be surprised. I will start at the back. I haven't quite finished this project, but I ripped off some of the excess garbage around the license plate, first of all. I am going to bob this probably right about there, move all of this stuff up. It does have the temperature sensor in the back of the fender right there, so I'll have to relocate that. Doesn't seem to really be very accurate anyway, so I'm not even sure how concerned I am with that. Let's see, what else have we got here? Oh, here, look at how shiny that is. That's amazing. And the pipe doesn't look ugly, weird, random color. So it's not awesome. In fact, it probably needs another coat right now. I did this just one night because I was bored. So all I did is I just took the pipe off. It comes off with these two bolts up here at the manifold. And then you take it off down here at the bracket, and you can pull the whole assembly off. If you want to take the muffler off, which is probably advised, that's easy. But so I sprayed that with some stove paint so that it will withstand the heat. And then also these guys, I just took them and put them on the polisher. The only other chrome that's on the bike is on the Delcovic, and it kind of all goes together with the exhaust system, in my opinion. You may notice the front end looks a little different than it did before. There's several things up here. Oh, wait, the light turns with it. So this is my ugly patch job, which I haven't quite finished yet, but I kind of got on this kick about reducing the weight of this thing for just the daily rides. I can always put some stuff back on if I actually want to go for overnights and I want to pack stuff, but for just daily riding and also just trips up and back to the mountains, which there's a lot of day trips that I can take around here. I didn't really want to have the weight of the rack up here, so I took that off. The challenge is that's what held the light on. That's what held the dash on, and all that stuff was connected. So in order to do that, I had to buy this bracket right here, which is a $10 set of brackets. And I went super cheap with all of this. This is kind of just a mock-up to see if I could actually make it work before I spent a whole lot of money on it. But basically, I just took the bracket, got the right size for the fork, and attached the light there, drilled a hole right there, attached the indicators right there. There's another little hole up inside there that you can't see. So that holds the front little grabber, the pin part, of plastic part that stabilizes it. And then just drilled a hole back there. This in the back is where bolt goes through that holds the bracket onto the fork. What I did is I had to take the bracket that attaches the dash. Okay, so here's the bracket that used to mount up against the frame of the bike. Now, it moves together. I prefer that personally. So all I did is, you can see the bracket went all the way across. It was much further out to here, and then it was attached onto the tank rack. So what I did is I just cut out the middle portion. That way I can pull it back, and then I attached it right here, and you can barely see it right up inside there. Maybe, let's see if I can zoom in. You can see it. That's part of the bracket right there. That used to hold the little plastic dashboard right there. Anyway, so I basically attached all of that to this, to the bracket. So the headlight, the dash bracket, and the clamp bracket is all attached by this one screw. Then I realized, you know what? All of the wires and junk up under here are ugly, and I might want a little bit of wind protection because I was getting some buffeting. So I got the windshield. You can see that I had to move this back to fit up inside here. It's a little sloppy right now. I'm probably going to shave that off on the end, and then maybe fill that with silicone or something if I can get something that's clear. Anyway, so now it's all attached. So whenever you take the tank mount off, it goes through here. This piece comes out here. That's where the bottom part of the tank bracket fits. That also held the horn. Well, I don't really want a horn, don't really need a horn, but I don't really care whether or not I'm honking at deer. So I went ahead and took that off, and it saved some weight too. Oh, so to hold this, if you remember, at one point I got this fancy headlight cover, and I didn't like it, so I never used it. So it was just hanging around. But it had a bracket that attached back here and was just the opposite of this, where it expanded. So what I did, you can see it down inside there, I basically got that bracket, remanufactured it, and ground off a lot of the edges, drilled the holes so that they would fit the appropriate width to hold it here. And then I attached that bracket down here as well. So that bolt holds the dash and the windscreen on. And then this bracket, basically what's attached to it are the indicators and the headlamp. So anyway, that's this side. Okay, so let's see if you notice anything else. So you'll notice up front here, there is no bird beak poking out there. I always thought those were kind of silly looking. I mean, I don't know, it kind of make the whole bike look bucktooth a little bit whenever the rack was on. The dash and everything was extended further, and then you had that. So I went ahead and took that off, just 4 bolts, no big deal. And then that left this fender, which extended down to here, which I thought looked kind of silly after that. So I went ahead and bobbed this side to the same distance as that side. That was pretty darn simple to do. I went ahead and took the back rack off. In case you haven't noticed, I took off my mounts for the Himalayan pannier mounts, which are actually a little bit overkill for the throwovers that I had. So I may put those back on. We'll just see how the riding looks this summer. So far it's been raining every day, and there's tons of snow still in the mountains. So we'll see what happens. So overall, I think kind of what the goal is, I've always loved scramblers. And though this is not specifically a scrambler, the big challenge with turning a street bike into a bike that has clearance on the trail is it just doesn't start with the clearance. So you can put tires on it and all that kind of stuff, and you don't have the clearance of an actual trail bike. What I'm doing is kind of going backwards a little bit and retrofitting a trail bike and turning it more into a scrambler type thing. Even though I haven't changed the suspension at all and don't know that I ever will. Just trying to lighten it up, make it a little bit easier to manage, take off some of the stuff that doesn't need to be there. And in case you haven't noticed, those are the MT21 Pirellis up on the front, which are super aggressive. They're like 90-10 trail to street, which is probably a little excessive, but that's okay. They're going to wear down, and I'll be able to change those out pretty soon. Anyway, that is basically what I've done, but I'm about to put in the Tech Bike Parts cam to see what that's going to do to this thing. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I've delayed and delayed, and now it is time. But I just wanted to touch base with everybody and kind of give y'all an idea of what I've been doing. In the meantime, while the winter was here, curious what your thoughts are. Looks a lot different than it started out as, for sure. I need to gimbal. This isn't as awesome as it could be. But there it is. I'll be honest with you, I haven't been able to really ride a whole lot. Also, you know, what I get paid for has been very busy these last couple of months. But I'm liking it. And it's a lot of fun. Whether or not I'm riding, I get to tinker with a bike that's inexpensive. Parts are inexpensive. Oh, by the way, I also put a 16-tooth front sprocket on it. And just out on the highway, that's made a tremendous difference. I'm cruising about 5,000 RPM at 65 to 70, right in that range. So that's been interesting. Okay, so there it is. I'm making a chopper. It's just not long and stretched and all that kind of stuff, but I'm cutting off some excess stuff, and I've got more to go. I'm probably going to do something with the exhaust. I'm never going to carry a passenger on this. Don't need passenger pegs. So I'm going to do something with that. So stay tuned. It's kind of fun. Anyway, thanks a lot, y'all. Appreciate you watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, hang out for more, comment, ask any questions you got. Thanks a lot. Y'all have a great day.